backwards now.
I think this is a good note for everybody out there.
He says that I don't pull well on TikTok, so
He
if you
doesn't.
want to do any
It's
videos
just a
with
fact.
me.
It just doesn't pull well. It's called social media for a reason, and it's not selfish media.
I just gotta clear something up. You weren't the 12th man on the field right now, right?
There is no easy way to get anything ever.
This is Mornings with Matt, the Deering Acting Studio podcast, where we discuss the connection between life and acting. Oh my goodness. Priceless. We're vibing in here this morning. I don't know what Matt is doing, but it's pretty entertaining.
Playtime, Joey.
Woo!
It's
Oh, that's
playtime.
right. Dang,
That's what he's doing.
dog, dang,
I
dog.
picked up on it. I was
I
like,
know
I know
you
what you're
did.
doing.
I
know what
thought
he's
you were
doing.
just being silly.
I was.
That's dope.
Which
I
is
was.
playtime.
Yeah,
And Brian
which is
was
playtime.
playing right
Yeah,
along with
yeah,
me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just missed the cue. I'm cool with that.
It's playtime, people. Playtime.
Playtime.
Time for play.
So, we're going to get down today talking about playtime. Very important. Before we do that, of course, let's hit up our cheat sheet, Brian.
All right, let's hit the daily devotional to the Lord. All right. We've got 3 verses today. 2 of them we're just going to connect sort of right together, and we'll talk about the why behind that. So let's start off. We've got Ecclesiastes 2:24. There is nothing better for a person than that he should eat and drink and find enjoyment in his toil. This also I saw is from the hand of God. And then the one that we're going to connect to that, and want me to do both same, like, or do you want to stop first? I mean, what you feeling? What you feeling, playtime?
What am I feeling playtime? I'm feeling like let's stop and talk. Let's define the word toil really quick, because I actually
Boil.
I think I know what it means, but I don't know I know what it means.
I'm pretty sure I'm in the same boat as you there.
Cool, Joey.
Feel
You've
like-
got the computer. Is it possible for you to look up the word toil?
Yeah, I sure can.
I feel like it's work. Is toil like work or
Work extremely hard or incessantly exhausting or physical labor.
Wow, that was impressive. I just thought it was something bad. Like Joey said when he said double, double, toil and trouble, it sounded like I just know it from the witches.
Trouble.
I was like, I thought I knew, but I wasn't sure that I knew. You know, it's like, and for the context of it. So interesting though, right? Because it's saying that nothing is better for a person.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's better for you. So like, what's good for you, Brian? You're getting some health advice recently. What's good for you? What's good?
Foods that are low in phosphorus and stuff like that.
Like what? Like give an example.
Choosing to have like grapes and like fruity stuff.
Fruity?
Yeah.
What about Fruity Pebbles?
Fruity Pebbles bad. Fruity Pebbles
But
is bad.
Fruity Pebbles says fruity. In
I
it.
know it says fruity, but you gotta look at all the stuff on the back of the box and all the other things about it.
So so grapes are a good thing?
Grapes can be a good thing, yeah. What are the ones that I can't think of what they are. That like just they're out there right now. Blueberries.
Blueberries?
Blueberries are huge. Like they're just like God's greatest gift to man.
So
and
blueberries, would you'd say, are good for you?
yes, I would say blueberries are good for you.
Well, there's nothing better for you
than the word of God.
Then if a person should eat and drink and find enjoyment in his toil, that's even better for you than blueberries. Because it says there's nothing better for you.
Not even
Beautiful
blueberries.
segue.
Not even blueberries.
Not even. Does it say it right in there? Not even blueberries.
Not even blueberries,
should.
says the Lord. So interesting, because truthfully, I wasn't even going here today.
And it just happened.
So we'll connect into this, and then we'll get to the other thing. I mean, maybe it does connect perfectly. I don't know. It usually does. Good job, God. So
Cheat sheet.
to eat and drink and find enjoyment in your toil, in your work. Find enjoyment in your work. There's nothing better for a person than to find enjoyment in your work. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I never saw the
Wow.
toil part.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Wow.
in your bad stuff was what I saw. So,
How many times have we find enjoyment in your bad stuff?
Yeah, like
If you do bad things, find enjoyment
yours
in those
makes
things.
so much more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder you've been screwed up your whole
I
life.
know, right?
I
Gosh.
do bad all the time. I just want to find.
I just wanna
wanna
find
have
good.
fun while I'm doing it. Because
Come
that's
on.
what God said
That's
to do.
what God said in Ecclesiastes 2:24.
No, I mean, how many times have we said that? You know, I mean, people get stuck in doing things, jobs, whatever that they don't love, or truthfully, they just a lot of times we choose not to find enjoyment in what we're doing. That
Love
is a
that.
choice.
Yeah,
Right?
totally.
Yeah, I referenced the conversation I had with Ben Gabriel when he came in this week,
BG.
and but this was a part I didn't get to, and he literally said that exact thing. He was like, his dream is a world where everybody goes and pursues something that they love, because he said, he was like, then it doesn't matter how much you work, because it's not work, it's something
He's right.
like you're passionate about.
He's right. There's nothing better for a person,
Yeah,
Nothing, not even blueberries.
not even blueberries.
especially not blueberries.
Especially not blueberries.
All right, let's
hit the
move on
next
to
verse.
some Corinthians.
All right. 1 Corinthians 10:31.
Is this the one about Zacchaeus?
No, not about Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus is not in today's story, Joey.
Brian kept saying Zechariah, and I just go to Zacchaeus.
And he
'cause-
started singing the Zacchaeus song.
Yeah, it's
which
a great
maybe
song.
we'll sing it at some point. We'll see.
Well, and the reason we're bringing this one up is because we're talking about eating, drinking, playing. We're talking about those things. So it's really good to put things into context.
Yes.
And I believe that Corinthians is going to do this for us.
This is context for the drinking and the partying.
This puts the blueberries into perspective, I would say. Go ahead.
I agree. 1 Corinthians 10:31. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. So even when you're playing, whatever you're doing, you're giving God glory with how you do it. I think is sort of what I take out of that. And even the smaller,
Whoa. Say that again. Say it again.
that
Say what you just said.
that basically, I don't remember how I said it, but that when we do something, whatever it is, whether we're hanging out or having fun or whatever, we do it for God's glory.
I need
We do
to
it
learn how to use the replay button.
Yeah, because
Because, you ask Brian to repeat things all the time, and he says it so elegantly the first time, and then the next time he
it's so
gets
hard
in
to
his
get
head.
back to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, no, the reason I was having him repeat it is I think one of the words you're saying is potentially, like, it's right, but at the same time I want to be careful about it, because you're saying whatever I do, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna give glory to God for that thing. And there's another way to look at it too, which would be make sure what you're doing is glorifying God.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So it could be like, hey, we're getting drunk, but I'm glorifying God. I'm choosing it, right? But if you are honest with yourself, you can tell if your choice is something that's glorifying God or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So it's like in all that you do, yes, drink, yes, eat, yes, have fun. And truthfully, like we've talked about this, even with your diet. I mean, I keep going back to you right now, but you're kind of the hot topic now that you're back on the show.
Yeah. I mean, just all around the studio, really.
Of course, yeah. As a matter of fact, we should give AJ some credit. AJ here, student, lots of love to AJ, and she's been helping Brian out with his nutrition and doing it all on her own. I mean, it's really incredible. She brought in flowers for the studio the other day, and I'm like trying to start class. I'm like, where is everybody? I'm doing my like, Matt's time to start class. And I go backstage, I hear people talking. I'm like, what the heck's going on? I walk back there, and she's like taking time out of her class that she's paid for to love you and take care of you and ask you what's going on and give you new advice to help you with where you are. I mean, what a beautiful human being.
Absolutely.
AJ, that's for you.
Go AJ.
And we learned that quinoa is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And Brian learned how to pronounce quinoa.
Yeah, I had no idea. Read it
he
way
said,
wrong.
"What is quinoa?"
Well, pronouncing things for Brian can be toil.
Yeah, yeah, it can be, 100%.
Okay, so my point there was going to be like going back to you and making sure that you can eat, you can drink, you can have fun, but make sure that it's to the glory of God, right? So what is what is good for us can be different per person. And this is what we're figuring out, right? So if when you look at like a certain, let's call it nutritional plan, some things you may be allergic to or have a reaction to, or for you are not good for the kidney.
Yeah,
But for somebody else, it would be a really good thing.
totally.
So it's not this like blanket thing across the board, but it's going like, is the thing I'm eating, the thing I'm drinking, is that glorifying God?
Yeah.
Because there's really nothing wrong with let's say alcohol. Right? Like, I mean, if you can have a glass of wine and be in a certain place and you're glorifying God, there's a way and a place for that.
Right.
Our family has a history with alcohol, and therefore for us, it was a dangerous thing that we just didn't want to get into.
Yep.
Dang. You
Absolutely.
literally like stole that out of my mouth through like mind brain tricks. That was dope.
It was sitting there in your braces, and I just yanked it. I saw
that's
it, and I was
dope.
like, I'm taking that.
Yeah, I think
I'm like a toothpick.
yeah.
Like a toothpick of knowledge.
I think my wisdom tooth is coming in on the left side, which is why like my throat is like iffy.
Oh, and that's why you're getting smarter too.
Well, it hurts really bad.
Well, it hurts to grow, Joey, which is
does.
a topic coming up, by the way.
Yeah.
Hurts to grow, but yeah, you're becoming wiser
There you go.
now that you've got a wisdom tooth coming. Come on, Brian, keep up.
Oh, good
All right,
stuff.
we have one more Bible verse. We decided to go. Well, we're doing a 3 for today.
3 for today.
Three
That's right.
for
All right, this is another from Ecclesiastes. It's Ecclesiastes 3:4. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance.
Beautiful. Is it the Beatles that sang that song?
I'm pretty sure they
Is it-
stole it. Yeah, 100%.
Is it the Beatles? Is that
I'm like-
is that the band?
A
A time for
I mean, it
time.
sounds like they did the same thing that we've been doing, which is, they understood that, hey, the Bible's a cheat sheet.
Oh,
like,
dude! So many songs, movies, all this. Now that I read the Bible like every day, I'm like, Game of Thrones stole that. Like I've seen this before, and you guys didn't invent it. That's
You just
crazy.
put a spin on it.
Yeah. So, but I'm asking. Maybe the audience will make fun of me if it's not the Beatles. But the song that's like
mean-
a time for.
I'll look it up. I'm pretty sure.
You know what I'm talking about, Joey? Have you heard
I
that song?
actually don't.
What?
I don't. I know the Beatles, but I don't know like all of their songs very well.
So basically, the song is like it was during wartime, and it's like there's a time for war, there's a time for peace. There's a time for love. There's a time for hate. Like there's a time, and honestly, when I read this in the Bible, I was like, you guys, if it was the Beatles, whoever it was, jacked this idea right from the Bible. So good for you.
So there's a time for love. There's a time for war. There's a time for peace. There's a time for.
There's a time for war, time
Anger.
for peace, time for hate, time for love.
So it's like opposites.
Yeah, but it's like
Got you.
it's like be honest with yourself and allow yourself to change and move into the new thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there time for Brian Sweeney Shameless?
Now for Brian Sweeney's Shameless Plugs.
Shameless Plugs.
Plug the band.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to shamelessly plug the Birds.
Is it the Birds?
The Birds.
Are
who
you
do
sure?
a song called Turn, Turn, Turn. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep.
That's the Birds?
Yeah, it's the Birds.
The whole time I thought it was the Beatles. Did anyone in the
They both
comments get
started
that
with a
right?
B. Anybody?
Yeah, Astrid
the
just
Birds.
said, because they're behind, Astrid said, it's the Birds, but they sound like the Beatles
Yep.
a little.
Okay.
LOL.
They
All
do.
right,
And,
all right.
you know,
Yeah.
if you're looking to read a book from the guy who got it wrong on this, it's acting is my day job, 7 strategies to market and make money as an actor. But
I do not give advice on song titles.
There's none.
in the
There's
book.
none in the book. That's
It's
a
not-
promise.
not what
it's
a
about.
promise to you.
Also, what's coming up on Saturday, Brian?
We've got a show on Saturday, Joey. Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, I wasn't supposed to be there, or I was supposed to be there. Then I thought I wasn't going to be able to be there, and now it looks like I'm going to be able to be there.
Yeah,
You are
and then
gonna be there.
and then I said I felt awful because I put up after he told me the promo, and when I put out the promo, I said the bro duo, like you and I.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
So now I guess I just won't come, even though I could.
But it's
come.
easy to fix. We can just alter it in the editing. No.
Yeah.
The bro trio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it could still be the bro duo with you guys. That the two of you happen to be superheroes in the show.
Ah, okay.
Right? Like
yeah.
so that I don't think that promo needs to go away.
I mean, whatever works.
You know what I'm
guys.
saying?
Yeah.
But point is, come to the show on Saturday or watch the link online. The online link, Joe, how do we get a hold of that? Is
That'll
that just
be
gonna
on YouTube, but the ticket link is right in the description of this here live video.
What? You can
Yeah.
just scroll down and see it and bam, get your ticket link? Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I wouldn't.
I would do it right now, but if you want to wait till commercials when the Chaos promo shows up, that's cool. You can do it then. you
Yeah.
know?
Commercials is a
We
great
got,
time.
we got a new Chaos promo. It's gonna
Oh,
go
you
today.
know it. You know it. The
Joey.
slideshow.
Joey, that's solid, bro.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom.
New
Get your tickets during
commercials.
commercials.
All right, so here's our opening monologue here. I'm going to do this quickly, and then we'll go to our first break. So, honestly, we're about to get serious about playtime. Okay, because it is a serious topic. There's a time for play, and if you don't take the time for play, your life can feel very incomplete. And I've seen this many times with especially highly successful people who grind, and I've seen it in myself sometimes. You grind, you watch them, work and work and work for what they think they want, and then they're feeling unfulfilled even as they succeed, quote unquote, or they achieve certain goals that they thought that they wanted, and then you get to that place and you're unfulfilled. So we're going to talk about the importance of play. So we'll get very serious about that, and making sure that we're not overworking ourselves, making sure that there's a balance in your life, and we don't want to strive for exact balance. We want to talk about this concept called counterbalance. So in our 3 segments today, we're gonna start with Know Thyself, so you can treat yourself. That's the first segment. Second segment is going to be about giving yourself permission to love, and we're going to end off with our big takeaway, which is going to be how to protect yourself so that you make sure that your fun time is actually fun time. So we'll be back after these messages.
Hi, my name is Monica Tapia. This is my first time taking masterclass, and I honestly didn't know what to expect, but I got a lot more out of it. Not only is this class for working on your craft, but also as you as a human being. Matt really broke down walls for me, and I was able to be vulnerable, which is really hard for me. So that was a big step for me. And also I learned that I have a responsibility as an actress to tell the character in the play justice. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
And then I see her across the bar coming at me with this look, And everybody kind of steps aside for her like the Red Sea or whatever. Just clears a path for her. And I'm like, what's with this nut job?
There's something slightly off about the what's with this nut job.
Do you think I should just lose the emphasis on this altogether?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless it's italicized or something. And we need
It
to pick-
is, yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's find it. Let's find it together.
Okay. What's with this nut job? 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 What's with
You
this
gotta stress
nut
this
job?
though. You gotta stress this till we love it.
What's with this nut job? What's with this nut job? No, what's with this nut job? What's with this nut job?
Yeah, good. Try to stop on just this. Make this its own
What's
thing.
with this nut job? What's with this nut job?
That's it.
Tell him the truth, honey.
Hello?
Tell your boy the truth.
Hello?
It's me, the painting.
Past muscular me from 2020?
Yes. It's your wife, but I'm talking through the painting. Your boy deserves to know. And you should tell him.
How do I tell him? What do I say?
You just tell him the truth, exactly how it happened. It's really that easy. Plus, you have me by your side. Well, you, but me as you.
The two of you are going to go toe to toe several times in this play. I think the why is because of love,
Yes.
not lack of love. And all this nonverbal is interesting, so let yourself be patient.
Have a bagel.
Yo, we are back. Playtime.
Playtime.
Playtime, playtime, yo, I'm Joey Sweeney, and the place to be is
I was
here in
gotta
Yankee
know
Studio.
you, so you treat you right.
Alright, cool, I guess.
Wow.
I was just jumping on your
Wow.
beat with the actual section.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was,
but what
that
was the what was the verse?
couldn't be farther away from a
Gotta
rhyme.
know what, so you treat you right.
That's not even a real sentence, A.
You gotta know you,
A.
so you treat you right.
All right. You gotta know you so you can treat you,
Yeah.
right? Know thyself. Who said know thyself? Don't cheat. You're cheating.
I'm cheating. I don't know. I was looking at your thing.
Socrates.
Yes, it was Socrates. It says so right here.
Socrates. Socrates.
Socrates.
Socrates. Socrates did. Know thyself. Important. Why do we gotta know us? Guys?
Because no two people are alike.
Okay. How's that relate to playtime?
Well, if I try to do something that makes you happy, that I see you doing, it may look really nice, but it's not actually bringing me joy. You may
Facts,
love the
yo.
boats, you may love the water, and I may be scared of the water.
For real.
Because water can kill Brian.
Yeah, well, right now you're right. Yeah.
The water!
This can be terrifying.
Yeah, so you want to we got to let go of what other people think. Let go of that comparison is what you're saying, right? So I see somebody else being happy. I see somebody else doing something that then they're like, this is great. This is, and you're going, "Oh, if I only had that, I'd be happy." No, like what makes you happy? Don't lie to yourself like you've never been happy in your whole life. Of course you have. You're just not focusing on the thing, or maybe you don't even realize what it is that truly brings you happiness. And that's why we got to stop to know thyself. What makes you happy, Brian?
Spend time with you guys. Facts.
Big question there, buddy. Facts. Spending time with us. Interesting.
That wasn't that big of a question. He had an answer right away.
That one's so simple for me.
It's still a big question whether or not he's got the right answer, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But oftentimes you get asked these big questions you don't know. You got asked. I'm telling you, Joey, this is a big question there, buddy, because to know what makes you happy, it's interesting. And then you're like hanging out with you guys, which is what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
Facts.
absolutely.
But technically, it's toil.
In trouble.
Technically,
It's toil.
Yeah.
So you found enjoyment in the toil. Now, did you always find enjoyment in the morning show, Brian?
No, I did not always find enjoyment in the morning show, nor did I see the power of it.
Nor did you even realize, and I'll say same for me. I'm just saying you right now. Nor did you even realize that you were hanging out with us, which is what makes you happy.
Right. Yeah.
What?
100%.
What makes you happy,
My
Joey?
job.
What makes you happy? Can't use Brian's.
Ooh, okay, cool. I mean, I got plenty. I love producing. I love performing. And so that's why, I will use the same example of this show. Because, you say it's toil, it is. Trying to get everything organized beforehand, that's a lot of work. It becomes easier because it's a daily process and gets faster every day. However, it's always a time crunch there, and it's kind of fun because I like the competitiveness of it. But then to come into the show, have a great show, have fun with you guys, and see the effect of all of the work we put in beforehand, that makes it not toil.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I love how we're just using the word toil as many times as possible.
Toil.
That's how you remember a word too, right? It's like if you learn it, then you try to figure out what it means and then try to use it in a sentence often.
Very often.
Then all of a sudden looking up words no longer feels like toil.
It doesn't feel like toil.
All right. So I was sitting outside yesterday. I was walking back from your place. I went to wake you up. You were having a siesta.
It was a beautiful siesta.
And you woke up with lots of energy, which was great. And I'm walking back, and I see Joey's dad sitting there. And so I walk up, and
Just my dad. just my dad, right?
well, yeah, it was Brian's dad
yeah.
too. But I guess your dad. I see the two of
Both
yours.
of our dads.
Dad.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah. Brian does have a. No, I'm just kidding. Oh.
Yeah. Really,
Okay,
if
so-
there's a mailman's child, it's Jimmy.
Yeah,
we
we've
kind of
dealt
already
with
know
those.
that.
We've dealt with those.
Yeah. He was born from a dark little word. Okay, so I walk up, I see your guys' dad, or AKA my Uncle Brad, and he's sitting there and he's all perched up. And the first thing I said to him was like, "You look like a proud squirrel who just found an acorn," because he was just like he was just up and just enjoying life. He's sitting there and just looking out at a parking lot. And here's what's interesting. I sit down and he had some things to say, and he was talking about life, and things were down a little bit for him in his mind mentally for just 2 seconds. And then I just kind of flipped the script on him. I listened, but I didn't do what I normally do and like go into it. Instead, I just sort of changed topics. And I was like, "Uncle Brad, isn't life just crazy?" And he kind of looked at me with this big smile on his face, and I'm like, "That's your son out there who like loves football, and he's playing with an NFL recruit, just playing catch. And this is a day, by the way, this is a day in the life of us. This is what we do. We are working right now." I didn't say toiling. I could have.
I could have, yeah.
But like this is our work day. We're at work, and he's like, "If you would have just seen my work day today," and I'm like, "Yeah, this is our work day. It really is our work day."
Yeah.
And just the idea, the thought that Joey, who loves football, connected to football, and has found now multiple friends who are going into the NFL to just hang out with on a regular basis, right? Through what? Through this place, through this work, through being dedicated and constant and staying true, right? It didn't come from him giving up and changing course and thinking like, "Oh, football makes me happy, so I'm gonna go." Like, no, it came to him through doing good. It's interesting concept.
Yeah.
And then I look at this too, and I'm gonna bring me to my next quote here, which is there's no fear when you're having fun. A guy named Will Thomas said this. There's no fear when you're having fun. And I thought, what a perfect example this is, okay? Because should you be fearful running full speed through a parking lot where cars drive and not looking where you're going?
A little bit. Yeah.
At any other time, there would be fear. You'd be worried about the cars, right?
Yeah, right.
If you're running and then you're in a parking lot and you're looking away, you would be scared. Mm-hmm. But Joey's having fun catching a football, and there's no fear where there's fun. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
What a great connection there.
Dang.
The
that's
amount of
deep.
times I've run full speed in the parking lot to catch a football and like tripped on myself.
No, I've seen him go
And,
towards like a
like-
pole and
Yeah.
like a sidewalk, like no stopping. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're not even like slowing down. Like,
But apply that to everything.
yeah.
Right? Apply it to everything. So as you overcome the fears in your life, things become fun.
Yeah.
So maybe the show was a drag sometimes. It was work. It was hard. We didn't want to do it, truthfully.
Yeah.
It was hard to get up.
Yeah.
It was hard to be committed. It was hard for whatever reason. It was hard. Until we got good at it, we lost the fear personally, all of us. We got better at doing the thing. And so from being competent and confident and having fun, the fear of it goes away.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've said this before, but I was legitimately terrified of going live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would get all nervous. I forget we're live half the time now, but I would get super nervous. As a matter of fact, I hated it when you would, because Brian's always on to the new thing, and I'm always a little bit hesitant, which is why we make such a good couple. Brian's my other wife.
Yeah.
I've got Leanne and I got
All
Brian.
right, I gotta freaking do it. Yesterday, there was a package that came in, and Matt and I were like, we didn't order anything, and we open it, and it's like this shower head, and I was like,
Beautiful shower head.
Thank you.
he was like, is this yours? And I was like, no, it says Deering Acting Studio on it. I was like, did Leanne order it? He was like, I don't think so.
But she might have. Could have
And
been her.
then he goes, yeah, it had to be one of my two wives, either Brian or Leanne.
So funny.
I was like, either way, I paid for it, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah, I paid for it.
Did
I
you?
did
Okay. All right. So anyway, this idea of you lose the fear in what you're doing, and then it becomes fun. There is no fear in fun. So whatever you're afraid of, get so good at it that you lose the fear of it, and then whatever you used to be afraid of will become fun. Look at public speaking. Same idea.
Yeah.
You know, and let's be honest, it's not fun, even for us who are, you know, competent in that area, to be a public speaker when we're not prepared.
Yeah, totally.
It's not
100%.
fun when there's fear involved.
Yeah.
Facts, yo. Facts. Nick said a really hurtful comment. He said, well, at least you'd be happy when you got run over.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Facts,
That's
actually.
facts.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
even mean. If he meant to be mean, he failed. I don't think he did mean to be mean. Think about
It
this.
was a
But for real, like life is dangerous. You can't protect. Like people try to protect themselves. They try to protect their kids. They
Try to protect Brian.
a lot of people have been trying to put Brian in a bubble, right?
Yeah.
And Brian's like, stop doing that.
Stop it.
Let me at least be happy when I get run over by a car, because we're all gonna get run over by a car.
Yep.
At some point in time, that's life.
Yep. 100%.
So I might as well be doing what I like to do, playing catch with professional football players.
That's facts.
And Raymond Epps.
Yeah.
Right.
Siebert's on his way to film with Netflix this week.
See?
He left today.
See?
Yeah.
Same idea.
Running routes.
The dude's grinding.
You know what he's most bummed about?
What?
Missing the show.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
funny. He's like, I gotta go do this Netflix thing, but I'm so upset about it.
Yeah.
No, he actually he told me he was like I don't know if I should do it because of the show and because of the show.
I love that attitude. I love
He was
it.
like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Go freaking film for Netflix running routes. Like you already run routes every day to practice anyway. You may as well get paid for it and be on Netflix. Like class gonna be here next week when you come back. Like you're chilling."
Yeah. So we'll end the segment here, but it's know thyself so that you can treat yourself. Okay, know what makes you happy, and then be honest about what makes you happy. Okay, we're going to talk about that coming up next in giving yourself permission to have fun, and that could be tough.
Facts, yo.
That's a commercial.
Hi, my name is Monica Tapia. This is my first time taking masterclass. And I honestly didn't know what to expect, but I got a lot more out of it. Not only is this class for working on your craft, but also as you as a human being. Matt really broke down walls for me, and I was able to be vulnerable, which is really hard for me. So that was a big step for me. And also I learned that I have a responsibility as an actress to tell the character in the play justice. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
And then I see her across the bar coming at me with this look, you know? And everybody kind of steps aside for her like the Red Sea or whatever. Just clears a path for her. And I'm like, what's with this nut job?
There's something slightly off about the what's with this nut job.
Do you think I should just lose the emphasis on this altogether?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless it's italicized or something. And we need
It
to pick-
is, yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's find it. Let's find it together.
Okay. What's with this nut job? 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 What's with
You
this
gotta stress
nut
this
job?
though. You gotta stress this till we love it.
What's with this nut job? What's with this nut job? No, what's with this nut job? What's
Try it.
with this nut job?
Yeah, good. Try to stop on just this. Make this its own
What's
thing.
with this nut job? What's with this nut job?
That's it.
Tell him the truth, honey.
Hello?
Tell your boy the truth.
Hello?
It's me, the painting.
Past muscular me from 2020?
Yes. It's your wife, but I'm talking through the painting. Your boy deserves to know. And you should tell him.
How do I tell him? What do I say?
You just tell him the truth, exactly how it happened. It's really that easy. Plus, you have me by your side. Well, you, but me as you.
The two of you are going to go toe to toe several times in this play. I think the why is because of love,
Yes.
not lack of love. And all this nonverbal is interesting, so let yourself be patient.
Have a bagel.
We are back.
And we're back. It is time to give yourself permission to have fun. I want to talk about that right now. So, this is a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He
Where's
says,
Waldo?
"A child reminds us that playtime is an essential part of our daily routine."
And this is a different Waldo, Joey.
It's not Where's Waldo.
Not that guy.
This is Ralph Waldo.
Oh, so we know where Ralph is. Ralph's not lost in a sea of people.
Well, let's get back to the quote here, that a child reminds us that playtime is an essential part of our daily routine. What do we need to get from that? I think it's that, you know, we're going back to the previous section, which was know thyself. Don't forget you were a kid once. The child in you doesn't ever die, if we're honest. Those of
Yeah.
us who continue to get older, God willing, I feel like you never feel old. I remember hearing my grandmother say that. She was in her 80s, and saying, and yes, my grandmother, because it's on my mom's side. she would say, like, I still feel like I'm 16. Like, in my mind, I'm still that age.
See, I got a different interpretation of this.
A different
interpretation.
Interpretation.
I got a interpretation. It's interpretation.
Interpretation, y'all.
Time now for Joey
Dakota here, y'all.
Sweeney's interpretation. Give us interpretation, Joey.
All right, so the interpretation of the day is, you know, we can learn from kids just as much as we teach them. So,
Yeah.
you know, I know you've told us plenty of stories with your family, Matt, where you learn from your kids 24/7, but that's also something that you've stressed and Brian's stressed with youth classes and teens classes is like, yes, we're here to teach them. However, they can teach us a lot too.
100%.
Yeah.
And Brian got this recently. We talked about it a few episodes ago, but when you started tapping into the calling my kids when you were in the hospital,
Yeah.
and how much that filled your spirit.
100%. It was just like so amazing because like they would get so excited that their energy, and they have so much energy.
Right.
Kids have so much energy, and they send it to you, and you can just feel it. It's pure joy. It's unfiltered, right? And I think there's so much beauty in that. We talk about it in classes, like with the kids, you've got to get them to like bring it down a little bit, and find different ways to go out of the imagination into some of the reality. And with the adults, it's the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Like they come into class and it's like, I got to get you to use that imagination.
So I've got a really interesting story. Just I think it was yesterday. A dad called up he just needed to make an adjustment on his account, and he happened to peek into the classroom, and he saw that his daughter was sort of like hanging on the chair a little bit and not 100% paying attention. And he's like, I just want you to know that I told her, I let her know that like that's inappropriate, you know, and she really needs to, you know, pay attention now. He's like, and I'm not sure if she does it all the time, but you know, if she does, I'm sorry. And I was like, cool, thank you for saying that. I sure appreciate that. But specifically with your daughter and with two other kids in this particular youth class, and it's not all classes, but this particular one at this particular time has 3 kids who are what I would call ultra shy, and your daughter's one of them. Or she was one of them 2 months ago. And yesterday she was jumping off of the staircase in the theater, and she was doing cartwheels in class in front of everybody, and she was having fun while performing. And so I just so you know, I was aware of it. I did get it in line. I did make sure that she was understanding and sitting, and I did have to correct her a few times. However, with her and the other 2, because of my goals for them as human beings, I needed to not reprimand the fun, because she used to be so shy in the room that she literally couldn't even speak in front of everybody. And I said, and your daughter yesterday spoke with such a big, loud voice, it would blow your mind. So therefore, we don't want to kill the playtime, right? We have to give ourselves permission to have fun. And that's what she was doing. She was giving herself permission to be herself in front of everybody. And I didn't want to be the one to take that away from her. Yes, she has to be critiqued in a certain way. Like you said, we got to bring that back a little bit. But we don't want to kill it either. You can't kill the kid. If you kill the childishness, right, then you kill the fun. Yeah. And they're not having fun in class anymore.
Right. Totally.
You know? And let's go back to the my kids, you calling them, right? Remember not to take it for granted.
Right.
Because here you are out, you're feeling better. we're back to classes, etc. Now all of a sudden life can get in the way.
Totally.
And it's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, I have more time than I used to, or like I'm feeling happy. Why am I not still connecting in that way at that
Literally
same time?
my first thought when you said it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I've kind of failed at that now that I've been out.
Or now I could do it in person. I don't even have to do it over the phone.
Right. Yeah. Just
Right?
making time. You know, we did over the weekend, but then it's like, again, when you get into your week, that's when, and I think we're all guilty of doing this, that you got to remember to find those times.
Right.
You know, so it's not necessarily going to look the exact way it looked. And that's been my mistake with the past, even like calling grandma and stuff. Like, I've had this plan for it, and when there wasn't classes on a week, it was easy to call it at the exact time that like fit. That was like right at like 9 when they finished. But that doesn't necessarily work when there's a class going on. So
Yeah.
you got to still like rearrange and make it happen because it's so important. And I've had times where like literally when I'm doing it right, where someone will come and I'm acting a certain way, and someone's like, "What are you, like 7?" Like to me, and I'll be like, "Yep," you know, like jokingly, but there's a spirit that comes from that, and it's fun, right?
And then there's so then we're gonna take this same thing, and there was something that we all know and love called the Sweener dance,
Yeah.
which was you as a child
Yeah.
doing the most awkward, out of beat dance ever, but doing it
Couldn't be worse.
completely unaware and having a lot of fun doing it. And the long story short here is that an entire huge crowd at an amusement park started dancing and following Brian's dance. He was a kid, and everyone's doing the out of beat dance because it became cool.
Yeah.
Because you were having fun doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a new thing on the agenda, but we need to make a music video for the Sweener dance.
For sure, we got
Okay.
to.
All right.
All right. So that being said, when you're having fun, whatever's fun for you, you got to be careful not to judge yourself. Okay. However, at the same time, make sure you get to the core of that thing. So this goes into. So I'm going to give myself permission, but I also want to make sure I get to the core of it. Because life comes up, things change, whatever. And if I've put all my stake into thinking this is like this particular activity or this particular thing, doing it this particular way is what makes me happy. As soon as that gets adjusted, it can really throw you. It's like for me, like knowing that I find joy and I find success in waking up early and being here early and getting to get a head start. As you know, today I didn't. I had to fight my own mental battle to help myself understand it's okay. Like, it's not gonna be perfect every day. That's not what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
So knowing like, okay, Joey loves, catching the football. We talked about that, right? Well, so do I. And the last 2.5 years, I haven't been able to do that because of my knee. Okay, I haven't been able to play basketball. I haven't been able to do a lot of the things that made me happy. So you got to get to the core of what was it actually that was making you happy, because there's other ways of achieving that thing, and obviously we have to figure that out as we age and change. We have to find like what is the actual core of that thing, so that we can make sure that we stay happy. Why are you smirking, Joey? We got a comment.
Yeah, a lot of them. So I it must have been in this last speech you gave, but Nick or Dakota put ... I didn't get it, and then a ton of comments showed up, and Nick said, "Did you say steak?" And then Dakota said, "Did Matt just say steak?" And then Nick said, "Yes, Dakota." And he said, "Yes, Nick." And then he said, "My boy." And now they're both laughing.
Did I say steak?
Yeah,
Did you?
I know.
I don't
was
remember
like,
you saying
I couldn't
steak.
remember
Maybe it
you
was put
saying
steak in something. I might have said that.
Put your
Yeah.
steak in something. Yeah,
I
that'll.
did say steak. That's funny.
Oh,
Yeah. So then and I go back to this like giving yourself permission thing, right? And I think that that's a willingness also to allow yourself to be loved, for you to love you and allow yourself to be loved by other people too.
Yeah.
Because at times you want to like cut that off, and again I go back to permission, because why was it that for a time the two of you specifically didn't want to admit that this morning show was fun? Why? What was it in you that didn't want to do that? You know what I mean? You didn't want to give into it. My dad used to have this thing where we would like, my dad was like super hard worker. Love my dad to death. And or he is a super hard worker, but when I was growing up, he was always gone, always working, always providing. That was his thing. So we'd gear up for these big, like, extravagant vacations, and he would always get sick, and he would always bring work with him, and he would always, like, he had a hard time giving himself permission to have fun and just be in that space. Right. And so, and I think there's a part of it, there's like this fear of saying, like, yes, this is for me. I'm willing to say I'm being selfish because I'm giving myself self-love right now. He wanted to hang on to being the victim. Right. And so there's this thing where, like, if your work is fun and you admit that your work is fun, then like, are you allowed to have fun also outside of work, you know, or whatever? Like, are you allowed to leave or whatever? So if I'm admitting that the morning is fun for me, then can I complain about waking up anymore? I can't. So I better make sure that I call it work. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, totally.
There's something to that where I want to make sure that we understand this concept of really giving yourself permission. Don't care about what other people think. If that's fun for you, that's fun for you. You know, and I'll tell you what's like right now would be not fun for me would be like sewing.
Sounds awful.
Because it's hard. You have to, like, look at the needle. I mean, it'd be rough on your hands after a while. You know who it's really fun for? My son. He's really good. My wife taught him how to sew, and he makes pillows, and he loves it. And then, like, I watch him do it, and he loves it.
Well, like, even going to, like, we get a couch or something, like something you have to build, like some sort of shelf. You get, like, psyched about that. That's like my friggin' nightmare. I do not like building things very much. Like,
but I admit it.
Right.
I admit, I'm like, weirdly, this is fun for me.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing this thing. It's something I've learned to do. I've grown into. I enjoy it. And therefore I can say, hey, I know I'm technically working, but right now I'm not having to use my mind space. I just get to use my physical self and kind of zone into something, and I really enjoy that thing.
Yeah.
But if you don't admit, like, I like doing the social media, I like doing whatever, then you can feel like it's draining you and draining you and draining you, and then it will.
Yeah.
Because of your perspective on the thing will either drain you or fill you. That's what's crazy.
Facts,
So this morning show will either fill us or drain us, depending on how we look at it.
Yep. Boom.
Let's give ourselves permission to have fun, guys.
Let's do that.
Audience, let's give yourself permission to have fun. All right, so we're going to come back here with a quick takeaway, which is going to be, how do you protect your fun? And this is I'm going to be talking directly to myself here in this next segment. How to protect your fun. It's going to be a great takeaway. We're going to end the show there.
Hi, my name is Monica Tapia. This is my first time taking masterclass. And I honestly didn't know what to expect, but I got a lot more out of it. Not only is this class for working on your craft, but also as you as a human being. Matt really broke down walls for me, and I was able to be vulnerable, which is really hard for me. So that was a big step for me. And also I learned that I have a responsibility as an actress to tell the character in the play justice. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
And then I see her across the bar coming at me with this look, you know? And everybody kind of steps aside for her, like the Red Sea or whatever. Just clears the path for her. And I'm like, what's with this nut job?
There's something slightly off about the what's with this nut job.
Do you think I should just lose the emphasis on this altogether?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless it's italicized or something. And we need
It
to pick-
is, yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's find it. Let's find it together.
Okay. What's with this nut job? 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 What's with
You
this
gotta stress
nut
this
job?
though. You gotta stress this till we love it.
What's with this nut job? What's with this nut job? No, what's with this nut job? What's
Try to-
with this nut job?
Yeah, good. Try to stop on just this. Make this its own
What's
thing.
with this nut job? What's with this nut job?
That's it.
the truth, honey.
Hello?
Tell your boy the truth.
Hello?
It's me, the painting.
Past muscular me from 2020?
Yes. It's your wife, but I'm talking through the painting. Your boy deserves to know. And you should tell him.
How do I tell him? What do I say?
You just tell him the truth, exactly how it happened. It's really that easy. Plus, you have me by your side. Well, you, but me as you.
The two of you are going to go toe to toe several times in this play. I think the why is because of love,
Yes.
not lack of love. And all this nonverbal is interesting, so let yourself be patient.
Have a bagel.
Yay. I don't know. Why not? All right.
'Cause we're playing.
So this last segment here is going to be about, this is something I just came up with this morning. So this is for me, and I'm hoping it helps a bunch of other people too. So I always think to myself, you know what? If you struggle with this, maybe other people do too. And so the end takeaway here is going to be protect your fun with things that are safe and that you enjoy, that are legitimately fun for you. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit ago. Fun is like, it's relative, right? So my wife, I'm talking about sincerely enjoys cleaning. She really does. She would, like, a dream job for her would be to go to somebody's house who's like a hoarder and help them throw things away. I'm serious. That's a dream job for her. She studies Marie Kondo. She's always online watching newer and better ways to fold and to she loves cleaning. She just does.
Yeah.
Okay. She doesn't love that I leave my socks out. She's not like, oh, I hope Matt makes a mess so I can clean after him. She just, but the process of doing it, like building the shelf,
Yeah.
is fun. I don't want to build shelves all day every day.
Right.
But doing it, like when I give into it, I like it. Okay. There was a quote I didn't get to that I want to say really quick, which is, and I don't remember who said it, but it's that play gives children a chance to practice what they are learning. And if we remember that we are all children, always, till the day we die, there is a child inside of us. Remember that you got to play. So you practice so that you can play the game. Then you go back to practice. So playing, the play part of it, is your chance to practice what you're learning. All right.
Dakota said, stuff is happening at work. Love y'all. See you later. I'm just wondering if maybe he placed the wrong label on some medicine or... No, I'm just kidding. Stuff's happening at work, guys. I gotta go.
Yeah. Good. Well, go have fun at work, Dakota.
Yeah.
Make the choice.
Facts.
Play.
Make the choice.
Have
Play.
fun in your toil.
Yeah. So here's what happened to me last night, and this is why I want to bring up this topic. So I go home, and I remember I told you, I was like, maybe I'll just do this thing at home. I had a couple things left that I really wanted to get done, and specifically it was because the people that we use as vendors to work on our website, they've been very, very loyal to us. We've been loyal to them. We've been working together for probably a decade, so that's a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
And so, but they work on different hours than we do. So essentially they work while we sleep. So if you don't get into a good habit of giving them things to do before you go to bed, then by the time you get to it the next day, you have to wait an entire 36 hours for anything to happen.
Right.
So I was very committed to getting this done before my workday was now over. But the truth is, yesterday I got up early, you know, and I worked hard. And I worked consistently, and I had a great day. And I probably should have put it down. Okay, I'm just gonna tell myself that. So then I tried to take it home. Guess what, Dad? you know, you did the thing that you just complained about your dad doing. You did. Okay.
Yeah.
So I come home. My son comes up, gives me the greatest hug. We snuggle for a second. I do my affirmations, and I say, "Hey, I want to grab a bite to eat, son, and then I'm gonna do this one thing." And he's like, "And then can we snuggle, Dad, and watch some Star Wars?" And I'm like, "Yes, we can." And I sat there, and as I'm getting the thing done and having a hard time doing it because my mind is not there, I'm going to turn Joey's eating down just a bit. Are you done? Because you're down. Nobody can hear that you're done. No, they can now. So I'm sitting there, and he falls asleep. Of course, it's late. He should be asleep anyway. but I would have really liked to do that, and I didn't do it. I didn't protect myself. I didn't protect that time. You know what I mean? So then what happens? I start feeling guilty. Then it goes, and so then guilt leads to shame, which leads to fear, which leads to like negativity, and then all of a sudden my night becomes negative instead of positive. Right?
Sure.
I wasn't able to bookend my day. I got weak. So my thought for myself, and this is what I want to share with everybody, is I want to think, okay, what are the times that I tend to be weak, that I tend to be in a weak state?
Yeah.
Okay. When do I snack late at night? What are the times that I feel like I'm weak? All right, great. How do I protect myself? And let me give myself a list of things that I could possibly do then that I love doing.
Yeah.
And then just pick one of those things, and even pick a person. I could call Brian. I could call Joey late at night. I could, whatever. Like, I could go literally wake up my son and go, let's watch Star Wars. I mean, whatever it is, I should have a list and go, these are things you love doing that are safe, that are good for you, that are fun. Then you don't fall into bad habits, don't fall into negative thought patterns, because all of a sudden you're in this weak state of mind, and you violated one of your rules or something like that. So then all of a sudden my son falls asleep. So now I'm in this like guilt pain spiral mentally, and it's so not good for me. So then what happened? Of course, those things led to me not getting up early, which then what? Then you feel guilty again. Then I'm on edge a little bit, right? Where I'm creating this show a little bit last minute. I'm a little bit more abrupt with you when you're asking about the Bible verse, right? Because now I'm like stressed for time.
Yeah.
I did the dishes. I almost ripped on you guys for the dishes. I actually pulled back on it because I was like, no, like stop it, stop it. What are you doing? Like I had to literally talk myself off of a ledge. So knowing that is the way that it is. It's what I think is going to be interesting is creating this list for myself and even putting them in the place where I know I'm probably going to need it, and go, do this. This is something you can do right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you also went to finding all of the positive things that fill you up. So I think sometimes you look at the negatives and you go, these are the things that you want to go away from, right? If this happens, yikes, be careful. But we haven't thought about all the things that immediately when that happens fill us up. That and again, it will be different for everybody. It'll be completely different for everybody in what that looks like. I mean, it might be for like Joey, it might be playing a video game for a minute, and that's okay if that's what it means, and you're understanding it and going, this is what's going to fill me up in this way,
right?
And I think it comes from acknowledgement. Well,
and again, like going into the connectedness of it, because you talked about this yesterday about TV, and there being a difference between, because this is what I did last night. I ended up watching Vikings or something, and then it wasn't great, and my mind goes to like not good places, and I knew I wouldn't. I wanted to be asleep. I didn't want to be like staying up, like I had. So it's fine. It's like, honestly, it's fine. But knowing the truth, like, is it wrong to watch a TV show? No, it's not wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Is it wrong to play a video game? No. But it's wrong that maybe if your spirit's telling you not to watch Netflix all day every day.
Right.
difference between that and watching a movie with my kids on the couch, snuggling up to them as you did as an uncle, you know, watching something and having that fill both of your buckets, you know, and bring absolute joy into your life. Those are two very different things.
Yeah.
Technically the same idea, right?
Well, and Brian, you brought this into it, but it's interesting because it also goes back to getting all the way to the root, right? So you were like, for me, it might be video games. True. Sometimes I like to play a video game online with some random stranger, but very rarely. Actually, the way a video game fills me up is if I'm playing with somebody and spending quality time with them. So whether that be our cousins, whether that be Matt, whether that be you, that's when I like to play video games because I do enjoy them. But if I'm just mindlessly playing online with random people, it doesn't feel like
not
like
only
it
that,
would
but
before.
not only that, but it probably can empty you.
Yeah.
It can get to a place where
Yeah.
pain comes from it, guilt, the pain spiral like I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It happens because, you know, like you're trying to find something where it's not.
Yeah.
That's
you
a
know?
great way to
and,
put it.
and I'm putting the happiness into the activity, but it's truthfully not the activity, and that's why I'm saying it's important to have that list. You know, and like and who are your friends? I think friends are people who you want to hang out with and who want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
You know, it's silly what social media has done to us and been like, friend me. We're not friends.
Yeah.
Truthfully, you're not my friend. I'm not your friend. You know what I mean? Like, even though we click that button, that's not what that is necessarily. And I can admit, like, my best friends are my family. Well, great.
Yeah.
You know, and I have a few other friends too, but like real hardcore friends. I mean, they come from the studio usually. They come from my family. They come from like this moment in time is like who my core friends are. And that's okay. These are people I want to spend time with and who want to spend time with me.
Yeah.
You know? And it's okay that that's my 9-year-old son.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to feel bad or guilty that I don't have another person I'd rather spend time with.
Yeah.
But that's just who I want to. That's who I want to be with. So like, I don't need to feel insecure the fact that I don't have a poker group or something like that.
Right.
you know?
Totally. So you mentioned with the protecting it, right? Would be the idea of creating that list. Is that right? Just creating the list of times when you're weakest.
Well,
So
and
that'd
I'm not saying that this works because I'm just saying that this is something I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna create a list, of when I'm weak, but I'm also gonna create then what could I do during those times? Where am I sometimes during those times? And then if I can acknowledge it and jump into something that really fills me and can take up all my attention, and if I make the choice to get into it, then whatever it is that's negative will go away. Because when you're having fun, there is no fear. We talked about that earlier.
Perfect.
Right? So you can't have the fear, you can't have the negativity inside of fun.
Yeah.
They can't exist, right?
Sure.
So for instance, if I had a list last night, I could have been like, Matt, you're feeling guilty. Check list. Go outside, shoot basketball hoop. They got it.
Yeah.
Honestly, that sounds like fun right now. I would have had fun last night by myself in the dark, turn on the light, shooting a couple hoops. I would have felt good, and it would have been good for me, and I probably would have fallen asleep easier, right? I wouldn't have been beating myself up in that way. Couple quotes here before we end. This was a motivational quote. I like this one a lot. I wish I could invoice people for wasting my time.
That's good.
This is why we have a hard time with this stuff. I think this is why the guilt and shame stuff comes up, because it feels like a waste of time. If I'm halfway into fun and halfway into work, and I haven't decided to have fun in my work or to just have fun in my fun, but if I'm straddling it, I feel like I didn't really have fun and I didn't really get that much work done. So then I feel guilty. I feel shameful. I feel like it was a waste of time. And nothing hurts worse than feeling like you wasted time, because that's the most valuable thing we have in this world. So that was a good quote. And then this is so funny. Time flies when you're having fun. Obviously, we've all heard that. It was Albert Einstein said that.
It's crazy.
Supposedly. I mean, that's what the
Internet
the
said.
internet told
That's
us.
what the interwebber net.
But imagine, maybe the smartest guy on the planet to ever live says, time flies when you're having fun. It makes sense. It makes sense. And how many times are you like, oh, I wish I could fall asleep? Like times like, go have fun.
Yeah.
Well, and
Make the choice to have
and
fun.
you talk about he's one of the smartest people, right? We learned a lot from him. He kind of shaped what the world is. He probably had a lot of fun with what he did in work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have been as successful as he was.
He
Right?
had a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
I'll bet he had fun thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Like that's kind of crazy when you put 2 and 2 together.
Makes 4.
Oh.
Am I right?
Yeah. I
Boom.
mean, technically, yes.
Albert Einstein
Yeah.
said that.
He did now. I'll put it on the
did.
internet.
He did
Make a
now.
blog about it.
When you put 2 and 2 together, Joe,
You
You get 4. Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein. You guys can all take that with you. That's
Thank you.
that's a quote. All right, are we done, or did you have a point before I broke you up?
We are done.
We're done. Okay. Thank you all for having fun with us this morning. We sure did have a lot
Yeah.
of fun. We have fun every morning, and we sure appreciate you having fun with us watching this show. So thank you for being here. We're going to have fun tomorrow night
Yeah.
in our Chaos Comedy Show. Please do not forget to visit Lighthouse Theater. Is it lighthousetheater.org?
.org.
lighthousetheater.org. You can get yourself some tickets there. Share this show. Help us spread this light-driven content to the planet. God bless.
Thanks for listening to Mornings with Matt. Please like, subscribe, and follow us at Deering Acting Studio to keep up with the latest content. For more information on classes, private lessons, or professional development coaching, visit www.deeringstudio.com. Have a Deering day, everyone.
Have a chippy day, everyone.